Hey, what's going on, everybody? My name is Corey, better known as the Seaman, and I want to welcome you to another edition of the Seaman's Cinema Sit Down. We are back on the couch. I've got my Joel meets Grogu shirt on Child Protective Services, baby. I love this mashup shirt so much. But with that, with the couch, it means we're watching TV, and with the shirt, there's only one thing that we could possibly be watching. I loved what we got out of episode 1 of season 2. Can't wait to see what we're getting with episode 2. What are we talking about? Why don't you pull up a chair? Take a seat. We are getting ready to take a watch and dive in, spoiler filled, into The Last of Us season 2, episode 2, Through the Valley. And last week was a great re-entrance into this world, right? It's been a while since season 1, and while the show doesn't pick up right where the second game starts, which, season 1 sort of did, it does do a phenomenal job of bringing you into this new world, right? I guess we started with the exact ending of season 1, and then we jumped 5 years forward to Ellie and Joel living in Jackson with Tommy and the whole community, and kind of getting a vibe of what's been going on with them. We know that there is some tension between them. Some of that is just teenage angst. Some of that, I think, ties back to the lie that Joel told Ellie at the end of season 1, because he chose to keep her safe, to basically be like her daughter, or his daughter. She's kind of filled that void for Joel, and he wasn't ready to give it up. So he saved her life by telling a lie and doing a lot of other terrible things. But there's some tension going on between the two of them. We get a nice intro to Jackson. We get a nice introduction to some of the new characters that we'll be playing with, and people that are impactful in their lives, specifically Dina, who is Ellie's best friend, but after episode 1 showing some romantic vibes, but is also extremely close to Joel. Kind of fills the gap that Ellie is now creating by being so tension driven with Joel, where Dina kind of has stepped into that space where she has the type of relationship I think Joel wants with Ellie. And we also got to see some infected, and we see that they are evolving. As I mentioned last week, the Stalkers are something that's been in the game since part 1, but a really cool idea to save them for season 2 and use them as kind of like an evolution for the infected. So very fascinated to see where we go there, and very fascinated to see where we go in general. We were introduced to Abby, and we know that she is on the hunt looking for a man named Joel, and it's taken them 5 years to go from Seattle to get to Jackson. But last we saw Abby, she is right outside the town. And as I say all the time with this show, I think this duo, this team up of Craig Mazin and Neil Druckmann, has created something super special for video game players and super special in the world of television. I mean, there's nobody that hasn't given this show critical acclaim after season 1, and the early reviews from critics for season 2 has been just as high, and it is top-end prestige television. But the way that they are adapting and how accurate they are beholding to the story, right? It's one of those things, I think Mazin said it during season 1 in one of the Inside the Episodes. It's like, the story is so perfect, there's no reason to really alter it too much. We want to capture the story the way that it's delivered, because Neil came up with something that's absolutely genius, and you're giving this to a much broader audience than just the video game community. But because you do have a video game community, we do want to add some things, find ways to elevate that story, and they certainly did that in season 1. Even here in season 2, things like Joel having a therapist, and then using the bright idea of one of the characters, Eugene, making that her husband. Like, really cool ways to find a deep cut, video game thing and tie it into a new character and into the story that you're building for TV. And some of the things, obviously, the way we went about the town, we spend all of New Year's Eve in Jackson. That's not the case in the video game. We pick up on New Year's Day, and we eventually flash back to things that happened on New Year's Eve. So they did a really good job of giving us elements of the game. We got to see Ellie and Dina go on a patrol. We got to see Joel working on electronics and trying to fix things. He's obviously a little bit more aged and a little bit more weathered, a little bit more wear and tear on that body, so he's not out doing the patrolling, but clearly has a place and a role inside this community. And getting to see that with both Ellie and Joel, I thought was really, really cool to experience and watch. And like I said, I think it just kind of sets the table really nicely. Now the question is, where do we go from here? As I have stated, there are elements about the game that I think if you're going to break part 2 up into 2 or maybe 3 seasons, I know we're getting 2 for sure, but I think you very easily could make it 3. There are certain pieces of the story that maybe you could shuffle around a little bit. And I started to teeter on whether or not they would do that after episode 1, because they didn't fill in the time gap. In the game, there's a lot of flashbacks to the 4-year period that you're missing. Here for the show, it's 5. Thought maybe you could slide some of that stuff up, kind of give us a chronological build up to where we pick up in the game. They didn't do that, so I'm very interested to see what they do with the characters, with the story, and if they stick to the story and in the order that it is in the game. We got some potential things that we could be climbing to that oh man, buckle up, buckos, because we are definitely going to be going on a ride at some point, just when and where. So why even bother just asking questions when literally the episode is right in front of us and we can just dive right into it? So let's not waste any more time. I've got things just about queued up in front of me, so let's get comfy on the couch. Let's get the episode up for you, and let's not waste any more time and dive in to The Last of Us, Season 2, Episode 2, Through the Valley. Alright, man, previously on...
Say the thing you're afraid to say.
The tension between the two of them kills me.
No matter what it is. Did you...
This recreation was so good.
What did you do?
It's literally the crux of everything. I saved her. Oh, that tear. Infected or evolving. And Abby is closing in on Jackson. Very intrigued to see where we go this episode, based on what we got in episode 1. If you're a video game player and you know this story, I'm sure you're thinking a lot of the same things I am. It's one of those where I'll be interested to see where they go. Oh, wow. Okay, so again, this is something that you don't find out, you don't see this until like more than halfway into the game. Really, really interesting that they're sliding this up and giving this to TV audience members this early.
Who?
Oh, it's a dream.
I don't know you.
Don't go in there.
Stop it!
I'm telling you, go back.
No! His brains are on the floor.
Yeah. So last week we obviously found out right away that Abby is a Firefly. And then Caitlin Dever in the inside the episode mentioned that the person that died that she was connected to was her father. And now we are finding out in episode 2 that her father was in that room. I won't say it because they didn't show it, but it's interesting because that is one of those things that you don't get in the game till much, much later. It's part of like the reveal of Abby's story, which you find out playing as her. But they are in a very familiar place here outside of Jackson.
Fuck. You been out?
Yeah, thought I was setting up a watch in case one of those patrols gets too close. Made it about an hour.
We'll do shifts. I'll get you something to warm up.
You did not look like that in the dark.
He is big.
It's alright. Now that we know what we're dealing with, we can come up with a plan.
Definitely.
It's a city, Abs. I thought it would be like a tent colony or something.
We got full fucking power lines.
Feel like you could have told it was that big based on the lights. Even in the dark.
Got 4 main gates, no other ins or outs. Guard towers flanking each exit. Mounted patrols, all heavily armed, overlapping routes.
And these guys are trained.
Yeah, they've got some vets down there, for sure. Let's just say we get past the gates, the guards, the patrols.
They also got dogs.
And the dogs.
We still don't know where Joel is in there.
How about this? We ambush a patrol, we tie him up, make him tell us where Joel is.
Make them.
Yeah, we said that we weren't gonna hurt anyone else, just
No,
Joel. I'm not gonna...
Fuck. Relax. I'm not saying we would. I'm saying we...
Scare him, you know?
If they don't talk, then what?
Yeah, it's not like we could let him go.
It's true. Tough scenario to find yourself in, Abby.
I do have the beginnings of an idea for a plan. Maybe. Just need some time. Have to let it crystallize.
But you're onto something.
I'm onto something.
Then let's buy you some time then. I'll take the next watch.
I think that's the girl from the Sabrina show. She's really good.
Up the hill, a little outcropping. You'll know it when you see it.
Better be a good fucking plan.
I do like the places, though, sliding this stuff up, where you're able to add, give us some more elements, seeing things like, you know, them coming up with what to do. It is very frosty.
You don't actually have a plan, do you?
No, I do.
Do you?
Plan is to convince her to go back.
Smart man.
Because if we don't, the only people getting killed out here are us.
Smart man. Ellie's so not a morning person.
Coming!
Hey. Wow,
Jesse.
you look like shit. I want you to fulfill your obligation to the community of Jackson Hole, Wyoming.
It's 8?
No, it's 7:30, but you're riding with me and I like to be on time.
Okay, give me a minute, I'll get changed.
It's right out of the game.
I heard you had quite the night after I left.
Oh, yeah.
Ha.
She kissed me. It was just,
What?
she was high, she won't even remember.
I was talking about some fight. You kissed her?
Perfection.
No.
Wow, Ellie, come on. We've been broken up
I-
1 week and you made a move on?
Dina, it didn't mean anything. She was probably just trying to make you jealous. It didn't
Oh,
mean anything.
man,
It didn't.
they are-
I wouldn't do that.
I'm screwing with you.
Nailing it.
I don't care. Come on, get dressed.
You're
I
the
really
worst.
love her and Jesse.
It's kind of fucked up you did that, though.
What's everyone doing?
Council put the town on alert.
Perfect recreation.
Max found a pile of dead infected near 7 cabins, frozen stiff. They didn't think anything of it until 30 live ones broke through from underneath the corpses. They're using their own dead like insulation.
Oh man, I love how they're evolving the infected.
Sent a squad out to clear the infected, but now we're thinking we don't know how many are underneath the snow. Could be 30 more, could be 1,000 more.
1,000. Get the fuck out.
Ah, yes. Certainty masquerading as knowledge. It's very Ellie of you. Ghost story about the world's smartest infected, and now everybody's spooked out of their minds.
It wasn't a ghost story. You know what? No offense, man. I'm gonna do my patrol with Joel.
Yes, offense, because that's the one person you've been avoiding like the plague.
Factual.
My shit with Joel is complicated. I know that. From the outside, it probably looks really bad. It has been really bad. But I'm still me, he's still Joel, and nothing's ever gonna change that. So you can all stop talking about us, worrying about us, and thinking about us. All right?
So you two hash it out.
Not really.
All right.
Now, if you don't mind, I'm gonna go on patrol with him. Like fucking daddy-daughter day.
He already went out.
What? Who's who?
Dina, left an hour ago.
Oh, that's a little bit of a switch up.
He said we should let you sleep. Let's hit the restaurant.
I'm not hungry.
Neither am I, but Maria wants to talk to you. And don't ask. I don't know.
So again, I haven't gotten all the way caught up in rewatching, and with Easter and family stuff last week, I didn't watch anything. But I could have sworn Dina goes out with them.
I'm gonna go through this anyway, 'cause it's been a minute. If you see flares, if you hear bells, stop what you're doing and follow the plan. Vanessa, what's the plan?
We go to the forest.
To the forest?
Yeah, that seems like a bad idea.
Young ones, old ones, right quick into basements and cellars. You lock the doors, you reinforce, shelter in place till we tell you it's safe to come out. Now for the rest of us, where do we go? Up, that's right. Rooftop, second floors, what do we bring?
All the guns.
Sidearms, rifles, take them with you. Keep them on you. Safeties, please. It's Somebody shot themselves in the leg last week. All right, don't be Earl. Now, bigger weapons, security team will handle those. For the rest of you, if there's a breach, God forbid, stay off the main street. Any questions? All right, then. Get with the group leader.
Oh, breach. That would be bad.
Go hug Daddy. Tell him he did good.
That's cute.
Seth, we have something to say?
Yeah. So last night I obviously had a few too many.
It happens to everyone. People get drunk and say awful shit they've never thought before.
Ellie.
I shouldn't have said it.
Shouldn't have.
I shouldn't have even thought it.
Shouldn't have.
I'm sorry. I made you two some sandwiches if you're going out there. They're steak.
That they are. Nailing it.
Thanks.
Yeah. You be safe out there.
Yep.
Really intrigued by this, because this is the patrol I think it is. It's gonna be a storm, and the storm, Ellie and Dina get stuck. So I wonder if they're flip-flopping. There it is.
Fucking hope so. 10 seconds in, I already can't feel my ass.
Be interesting if they shift that bit to her and Jesse. Joel should be with Tommy. Maybe we are tweaking things. It is cold in Jackson in the winter. Uh-oh, horses. Oh, is that Joel and Dina? I think that's Joel and Dina. I don't like that. Dude, look at that. That's wild. Way up there all by herself. Storms are coming.
Mountaintop, repeat.
Mm-hmm.
Repeat.
Low visibility, Tommy.
June,
Yeah?
go find Amy in the radio room. Tell her to crank the signal. Call all the patrols back.
Okay, I'm on it.
Oh, man. There's a storm coming.
Repeat. Yeah, all right, but I think we're too far out to make it back. I know a spot
Hold up.
we can hold up there.
Yep. So in the game, this is 100% Dina and Ellie. And Jesse eventually finds them. Interesting to break them. A lot of what we got with Dina and Ellie last week reminded me of this stretch that we're in right now. There's Dina and... no, Ellie and Joel. Ellie and Jesse, Jesus.
This way.
Okay.
They're leaving the horses in one place. Interesting. Oh, the storm.
Am I fucking hallucinating?
That's a lot of weed.
How'd you know about this place?
Eugene.
Eugene.
One day he showed it to me. Said he found it a year earlier when he was on a solo patrol. Swore me to secrecy. Said Maria wouldn't be supportive of his, farming.
Poor Eugene.
You okay?
Yeah. Eugene was a firefly?
Yep, just early on, though. Quit back in 2010.
Have fun?
He said he was tired of killing people. I think he was in Vietnam. That was a raw deal. Joel having to put him down. Fucking shame. Guy makes it through a war, end up going out like that. What are you gonna do? Couldn't be saved.
Oh, it's heavy. Perspective, man. Everything's about perspective. Oh, Abby. It's crazy, man. It gets cold in Seattle. You think they would have been a little bit more prepared for how cold it'd be in Jackson. Interesting, they're not seeing the storm yet. Bye. I feel like this is not gonna go well. Oh my god. fun. Probably a bit colder. Oh, and that's an infected. Oh, that's all. Oh no. Oh, Abby, get up out of there, girl. Living infected, living under these dead infected. It's gonna be an arm. I don't know. Oh, that's just something you never want to see. Oh, she didn't realize they were infected until now. I like how she slid down the... Oh, they're moving. Oh, that's so bad. Get out of there. Yo, dude. Oh, man, that's wild. It's like moving like quicksand. Oh, that's gonna be so many. Oh no. That's so well executed. What a freaking dope visual. Terrifying visual, but dope. Run, 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 run. Run, 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 and wall. Oh my god. Oh man. Oh, they're climbing on top. They going World War Z style out here? That makes some of them. Well, these are not zombies, right? They're infected. But the zombies in World War Z, the way they climb on each other makes them some of the most terrifying of all time. Oh, jeez. That fence feels like it could be a little flimsy. Oh, no. Oh! Oh! Dude, this is... Yikes! See an infected do things I've never seen, like just willing to split their hands like that. Oh, they're through. Oh, at least one's through. Oh, got him. Joel?
Give me your hand!
Yep.
Can you run? Run! That way!
She has no idea who that is. Man, she's looking to kill. Is helping her? And now she knows who it is.
Up here! I'm coming!
See, again, in the game, this is Joel and Tommy.
You good? Hey, kid!
Yeah, I'm good.
Any bites? Let's go. Now!
I'm really interested to see how they're gonna play with things. Like, why swap Tommy and Dina? And Jesse and Dina?
We leave!
Back to Jackson? It's too far. We'll freeze before we get halfway.
I'm aware.
Okay, Joel, if we stay here, we die. If we go out there, we die.
I don't know, I'm thinking!
The lodge. If the infected are down here, maybe there aren't any more up there.
Oh, God.
Your friend's armed?
Yeah.
Good. We're gonna need him. Get on.
Oh, man.
How are we doing?
Range is pretty compromised.
You heard from all of them, right? They're on their way back?
We're taking shelter, except Joel and Dina.
What?
The fuck are they?
I don't know. They're not responding.
Try them again.
Coppermine, this is Jackson. Come in.
Joel, answer the goddamn radio!
Tommy.
Every 10 seconds, Amy. You hear me? Every 10 seconds!
Tommy going out.
Jesse.
She were...
Did you make this?
Yeah.
That's phenomenal.
With me.
No, you're not.
Yes, I am. And as much weed as I can shove into my pack.
Nope.
Dude, you're gonna be in charge of Jackson one day. We all know, but that day has not yet come.
Repeat.
So I wonder if Tommy's gonna find the two of them.
Jesse, you're barely there. Amy?
Or, oh no, maybe they're just gonna go out on their own.
No, why?
Fuck.
Amy. Amy, come back.
So in the game, Jesse finds Dina and Ellie, tells them Joel and Tommy are out, not responding, and they go looking for him. Yeah, slight tweak, but pretty much, oh, don't do that. You gotta find them infected roots and spores be growing, man. This is a really interesting new element. Yeah, there they are. Oh, that's not good.
The route's an oval around the mine. You've got to split up and come at it from both sides, northwest and northeast. Meet up in the middle.
I'll take northeast. How much time do you think we have?
If the wind holds steady, maybe 20 minutes. You got to get to the mine by then. Ellie, whether you find them or not.
Yeah, you fucking too, Jesse.
This storm is a nightmare.
Oh, we gotta go faster!
I know. I'm trying.
Look at these landscapes that they're on. Oh, that's so many infected. The way they're staying insulated underneath. Oh, now they're coming from the. Oh my god, dude. There are so many. Oh my god. Oh, are the infected coming for the town too? Oh yeah, here they come. Oh no.
Infected! 5 minutes out!
Follow the plan. I'll take the roofs. You take Main Street. Go!
So that's clearly why they shifted Tommy to not be out and to be in the town, because you've got this new bit going with the infected.
Basement and roof! Get off the street!
What are those? Oh, that allows stuff. Clearly something they can pour, I guess, on the infected. Bro. Talk about worst nightmare scenarios. I'm also now starting to think like a lot of what we saw in the trailers is just from these first few episodes, I think. Oh, man. Scoring right now is so good. Love a good score. Yeah, gonna be rough out there, Tommy. There's a lot of infected.
Jackson, hold! Get let out!
Oh, they just roll those down and they'll... Oh, God! Just full battering ram speed.
Go, go! Push!
I'm assuming those are gonna explode. Oh. They are going a little World War Z-ish, I'm not gonna lie to you. Oh, set them on fire. Really would have thought those would blow up. Movies have lied to me.
No!
Oh, okay. That's how. Light him up! Oh, and now they blow up. Oh, jeez. Oh. Fairly solid defense system, as long as they don't start going World War Z style and climbing on each other. Which, I mean, it seems like they're kind of doing.
Whoa! Whoa!
Oh, no time to be stopping.
Oh, God.
I have to go back.
We won't make it.
If I don't make it, I don't make it.
We're almost there.
Oh, damn you, Abby!
It's like a minute. We've got blankets, ammo. My friends can help you get back. We can fight.
You are lying through your teeth, you...
Fast!
Knowing that's going on, those gotta be killing Joel. Tommy, think about Ellie. Meanwhile, you got somebody that's hunting you, riding shotgun on your horse. Why are they shifting? Where are they going? And having... Oh, that's a bloater. Oh, that's a bloater.
They're gonna breach! They're gonna breach!
Oh no. Oh no. Run, Tommy.
Get ready!
Give that man a... Yeah, there we go. I was like, give that man a freaking flamethrower, please. Ooh, look at that. How did it know it could breach through there? Oh my god, how are they gonna get out of this? Like I said, I ain't caught up on my rewatching. Oh, that's so many. Will you just stand top, like run, Tommy? Oh god, oh god, oh god, oh god. Could you imagine? Oh my god, this is going so terribly. Oh, that's not good. Spores that are getting into the town, like, send... I don't even know, man. They're building a lot of great things in this episode. Yeah, come get me, bloater, not my wife. Oh, Tommy, all of this feels like a bad idea. Like, and they're getting onto the roofs. Dude, this is... What a huge episode, too, for Mark Mylod to take on. Holy crow, man. Like, this episode, I think, had enough baked into it with where they're going story-wise. Then you throw this on top? Like, goodness me. Oh, there it is. Or it's not there yet, but it's coming. This is that shot we've seen, I think, in the trailers. Where he just lights this thing up. Oh, there it is. light it up, Joel. Tommy. That's Tommy, not Joel. They brothers. Light him up. I don't think that's gonna stop him, though. Yeah, he's still coming. Time to run, Tommy. It's like in the game, man. They are so hard to put down. You need so much fire, so much gun power. Grenades if you got them. Oh, he is running. Oh, no. Oh, my God. Tommy, get out of there. Oh, did you trap yourself into a corner? No, 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 no. No, 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 no. No, 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 no. Get up, Tommy. Don't just... Oh, my God, no. Bam. Oh my God. Oh my God. I thought they were gonna kill Tommy. That's also very similar to the game. There are times where you're lighting, like you run out of ammo so quick, but you have enough fuel and you're lighting him up on fire and he just doesn't stop coming and like will move and then you're like, oh no, I'm out of everything and collapse. I've seen it. It's happened to me. The recreations, like I said, of some of the video game things are just so freaking good, man. Oh man, they got... Dogs can take out infected? Tommy's just like, I can't believe this, man. We've been safe here all this time and now this? Doesn't even have time to worry about Joel. Dogs to the rescue! Get them! Yeah, they train them dogs good. Oh, man. Go in there.
Inside! Inside!
Dina looks frozen to death. Leave them horses outside.
Just a little frostbite on your wrist, but it's not too bad. I'm gonna take a look.
Frostbite already? Damn.
We're gonna raise your body temperature up slowly.
Oh, that's not good.
Who are you? Hang on. I gotta jump on this, you're gonna lose skin.
Okay, everybody grab blankets, ammo, whatever weapons you have. We're heading out in 3 minutes.
Sorry, I'm Abby. This is Nora, Manny, Owen, and Mel.
Jackson, come in. Tommy, come in. Do you copy?
She's like, I gotta get back.
Jackson, come in.
Do you?
Jackson.
And he is Joel.
Jackson, do you copy?
Oh, man.
Joel!
Man.
We're not gonna hurt her, not if you cooperate. We're just gonna put her to sleep for a while. Trust me, it's for the best.
Oh, I am not enthused about this at all.
If you don't do it, I'm gonna smash her in the fucking head.
You wanna rob us? Fine. Take what you want.
Do we look like raiders to you?
Man.
No.
What do we look like?
Military.
Oh, man.
Fireflies.
Used to be. Haven't you heard? There are no more fireflies. They're all gone.
Dude, I can't believe we're doing this.
Get that shit away from
This is gonna put you to sleep. This is going to put you to sleep for 1 hour. That is all. I promise. I promise.
I can't believe we're doing this in episode 2. In the game, that's Tommy, and they just cold cock him with a gun.
That's a nice scar you have on your right temple there. I'd say you're about, what, 6 feet? In your 60s now? You actually are. Pretty handsome. Congrats on that. I'm gonna give you one chance to tell the truth, Joel. If you do, let's face it, we'll all know. I'll let her live.
Wait, Abby.
Shut up!
Her rage is so strong.
Where was the last place you saw the fireflies?
Salt Lake.
At least you're honest.
Saved your life.
What life?
Oh my god, they're doing it. Oh no.
Tourniquet him.
Mel, let's just do what we came to do.
Nah. Abby wants this to be slow.
You're tough. I guess you probably have to be killing all those people.
She's nailing this, by the way.
Did you count as you went, or I guess maybe it just didn't matter? 18 soldiers and 1 doctor.
Her daddy.
You remember that one? An unarmed doctor. You shot in the head.
He wasn't unarmed, he had a scalpel.
That was my dad.
Yup. Yeah, and we find that out, like, way later in the game. We don't see this conversation.
And looked at him when you pulled the trigger. And then you just walked right past his body and out the door. But I looked at him. I saw him. I was 19.
Yeah.
5 years now? Seattle. I'd warn you not to go there, but little chance of that. Anyway, our commander trained us to follow a code. We don't kill people that can't defend themselves.
Hmm.
And right now, that's you. But I am going to kill you. Because it doesn't matter if you have a code like me, or you're a lawless piece of shit like you.
Perspective, man.
There are just some things everyone agrees are just fucking wrong.
The golf clubs. Deaver's crushing this. It's so hard to not. God.
You know, it's funny. I have waited
No,
so...
just shut the fuck up and do it already.
So Joel. Oh, man.
You stupid old man. You don't get to rush this.
It's right out of the game. Like, that's his dad too. You know what I mean? Look at his face. Like, he doesn't even want to do this. Again, that is beats in the story we don't get till later. When Abby does this to Joel, all we know is it's somebody that clearly he crossed in some way. Did something that upset them. But we don't know that she's a Firefly. We don't know that her dad was the doctor. It's just random. Until about, like, halfway-ish through the game. Oh my god.
Abby. Abby.
I really didn't think we were going to have to deal with this 2 episodes in. And it does come this fast in the game. Like, it's maybe a couple hours of gameplay. If that. I mean, I guess if you do everything correctly, it's not a couple hours of gameplay, but it's so early in the game. And, like, you've waited so long to play this game to just watch Joel get brutalized like this. Come on, Ellie. Save her. you also are playing Ellie at this point, and you genuinely think you're going to save Joel.
Joel! Joel! Joel, get up! Joel, get up! Joel, fucking get up! Joel, get up.
End it.
Joel, get up. Please. Please get up. Get up. Fucking get up! Get up. No.
The golf club off. Oh, the golf club is not broken in the game.
Please don't. Please don't do it, please. Please don't. Don't. Please don't. Don't. I'm gonna kill you. I'm gonna kill you! You're gonna die! You're all gonna fucking die!
Oh, it's so much more brutal. I knew it was coming too. If you Hazen and Druckmann finding a way to make that hit even harder than the game.
And I fear no evil, 'cause I'm blind to it all in my mind. Because I know I'll kill.
Oh, Tommy. Or Jesse, maybe.
Surely goodness and mercy will follow.
I just sync it up with, friggin' infected attack with the town. An absolute genius, but devastating.
Said I walk beside the still waters and they restore my soul. Path of the right, 'cause I'm wrong.
That's just like, that's such a crazy added layer. That's not there in the game.
And I feel no evil restore my soul. But I know when I die, my soul will stay. But I know when I die, my soul is.
I didn't even think about like how you get him back to town. I think in the game it just jumps like Ellie gets knocked out, and you're just back in town. She's ready to go gear up and find this girl. Oh, I can't. Mark Malad, kudos. You really directed the heck out of that up. I really didn't think we would get something that was more brutal than what it was in the game. And like I said, that part happens. So like you play as Abby for a brief period at the beginning, and you go through the whole situation where there's infected, they're running, she runs into Joel and Tommy, they take her in, Storm's getting worse, they want to go back to Jackson, they can't, they go back to her, lodge base, and once Abby reveals that it's Joel to everybody, similar, they knock Tommy out, and they just start going to work on Joel, or she starts going to work on Joel, and then you flip to Ellie. And like in the game, you know what's happening, so you play Ellie's whole journey trying to you play that whole stretch until she gets there, and then you go through that house. You think you're going to save him. Oh man, talk to me. Oh, this is next week.
It's okay. You're in the hospital.
Oh man, and Bella gutted me, man.
I know their names, and I know where they're from.
The girl with the braid.
Abby.
Well, I didn't give us very much for next week, but that is what the story is built on.
Okay.
Now it's, yeah.
Let's talk about what just happened.
Can't believe you just did this in episode 2. I really thought you were going to push it to the end of the season. I was hoping you would, man. I wasn't ready for that early. And, like, just to not have Pedro. I'm sure we'll get flashbacks.
I remember thinking, holy shit, like, this is crazy.
I thought to myself, this might be impossible. There must be a new draft coming out where it's all shaved down. Not only did that never happen, it only grew. Every single person in every department was tested to the limits.
It is a massive episode.
If we do this right, this will be some legendary television.
I had Thrones level.
Starts with the hint of an approaching storm. Bad weather comes in lots of forms.
That was the tip. I love the way your brain works.
On that mountain, and in a real blizzard.
I can't believe they were on location.
It's also something that can inform you so much in the playing of it. When little is left to the imagination, it just really helps just be in the world.
In the game, we talk about how Jackson at times has been under different attacks.
But we never see it.
We thought we had an opportunity to create even more of a sense of vulnerability. That it wasn't simply Joel or Ellie or Dina who was in trouble. Everyone was in trouble.
Yeah, you up the stakes.
During the invasion of Jackson, we are overwhelmed by this horde of monsters. And then as you have to encounter these stronger and stronger foes, there's an escalation in your own firepower.
Mm-hmm. That's how the game goes.
And batter, and to have a one-on-one fight with Tommy with a flamethrower. I mean, those are just epic things that we dream of.
Yeah, right.
The great thing about television and filmmaking and why so many of us work in very unpleasant conditions is the teamwork. When I heard that Caitlin had been cast as Abby, that was just such an exciting piece of casting to me, and again, the opportunity to work with an actor who I have such admiration for.
Love that.
Meeting Caitlin was amazing, and it's very ironic that something so violent and tragic between its characters can immediately bond you to the actor.
I always loved her. I loved everything she's been in, and it just felt like a great fit. And it felt like, oh, this will be a good counterpoint to Ellie in the story.
When we talk about casting main characters, what you're really looking for is somebody that reflects back at you naturally, what you know you need to see.
And didn't need her to be jacked.
And she got excited too. And here's a chance to play not a villain, but an anti-hero.
Mm-hmm.
Force of nature. She will not be stopped. And if that reminds you of somebody else in our story.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's Ellie too. And now we begin to see how this is all going to unfold.
Amy, come back.
And as soon as the storm started, I was like, you know.
And before you know it, the weather's deteriorating, the tension's rising, and you can just feel this pan starting to boil over. She takes a risk and she tries to get down to intercept 2 patrol people, and that takes her down into this gully.
This was fucking wild. And this whole concept of them being under the snow and under dead ones.
Now in comes these people from somewhere else, and in comes rolling in a storm.
It's a perfect storm.
Under the snow, there's something even worse.
Yep. This is such a wild look and scene.
Attacked by the infected, and the fence starts collapsing.
So good.
She has to crawl through that to the end where Joel finds her. That was all done up at Whistler in a snowstorm.
I can't believe they did it in a snowstorm.
Chased by the infected was really sort of surreal, honestly. The makeup and costumes, everything, it looks so real and it feels so real that when they actually call action, very scary.
Our first sit-down conversations we had with Neil and Craig were about changing the look of some of the characters, such
making them more human.
To portray them in a very cold, frostbitten way.
From the minute that Abby encounters infected, it doesn't stop for us. Real stunts, practical effects with visual effects. I think that's the best use of visual effects. That's what we're here for, is to really fully immerse the audience into the story we're trying to...
Yeah, he crushed it. Absolutely crushed it.
How do we put the player in that state of righteousness or hate or whatever label you want to put on it?
Hate. We are in hate for a very long period of that game.
Felt very clear to me. It's like, we have to kill someone we really care about.
I hate Neil Druckmann.
It was as hard for us to write and to shoot as it was, I think, probably for a lot of people to watch.
Bello, fucking killing me, man.
But this story is about how we all deal with those moments, which do confront us in life. We all think, I could deal with this much stuff. Oh. And then life says,
yeah, we gotta give you that much.
And then we find out what we can put up with.
I mean, I knew that Joel was gonna die.
It's very true.
But reading it in the script, I knew that it was coming as I was reading the episode, and I was dreading getting to that bit, and I cried. Actually sobbed my little heart out. It was the first time I've ever cried from reading a piece of writing.
Nothing but respect for the level of investment that people have in a video game or a television show or movie or book. I experience it myself, and I've flung books across the room because its impact
through my controller
profound on me and experiencing a story. And I think that if it is incredibly painful for people, that's obviously a brilliant achievement of the storytelling.
Pedro was just an actor's dream. I felt really taken care of working with him because it is so heavy, it's so loaded.
As soon as
he's so good.
I was exponentially more terrified of delivering that moment than any.
You crushed it, Mark.
Took on a whole other life and energy just because it sort of digs the knife in a little bit deeper.
Once Joel dies, we wanted to sort of take a breath and we wanted to feel the space for the first time and the loneliness and the emptiness.
I don't really get to do that in the game.
Shot, because so much of it is just this intimate exchange between people.
A shot of her face on his.
This is the most important makeup of the season. Don't screw it up. So the pressure was on. So we started with a 3D scan of Pedro, and it was great because I knew I was going to be sculpting this makeup, which was going to close his left eye. Without that technology, that would have been quite hard to gauge before.
Spot on.
That was quite a tense moment, hoping that was all going to come together and work.
Well, it sure did.
The visual representation of your last breaths. It was really interesting to step into a room and see, you know, the reaction. And it wasn't one of revulsion.
Heartbreak.
It was heartbreak.
I think some viewers will start seeing some parallels between Abby and Ellie. Abby has lost her dad, and now inadvertently Abby has created those same nightmares for another character. This event will change all the characters we know forever from this point on.
Very much.
This impulsive character, what's going to happen to them next?
I do know, Neil, though I'm not entirely 100% positive. Fuck, man, that episode was as gutting as, like, that's the trick, man. Like, that's how you know they did such a tremendous job, because it is just as gutting and just as impactful as it is in the game. Maybe that's not 100% true, because like I said, you're in the game, you're dealing with something, you're dealing with it slightly different, right? There's not the horde happening at Jackson Hole, and once Abby and her clan blow Joel's knee out and they start the beatdown, like I said, you jump to Ellie. And as a video game player, where part one is really, I mean, it's such a split, but I would say part one is like slightly more Joel's game, right? He's the first character you're introduced. He's the one that you play the majority of the game until you get moments to play as Ellie. And you really drive from his perspective. And I thought season one did a good job of representing that, where it's like, it does feel like this is Joel's story for season one. Ellie's along for the ride, and you get lots of stuff for Ellie's story where it is a shared space, but it's more Joel's. So you wait all those years to play part two, and you finally get to it. And like I said, you're playing the game. You know, the game is not easy. If you don't set it on easy, you get limited ammo. Die, you have to redo things. So say, I don't know, I'm maybe playing the game for an hour or so, and that happens to Joel, and you're just going, okay, well, there's no way, right? Like, as soon as we flip back to getting to play Ellie, you're like, okay, our mission is to go save Joel. We're gonna go stop this character, and like, you're not even thinking about the fact that like Druckmann has also made you play as Abby. You know, you're just like, I get it. I've played, like, we need to get pieces of her story to set that whole bit up. So we got to play as that character rather than playing as Joel. But like, you're not even thinking, like, he has established that Abby is going to be a playable character, which would make you think that she's going to get out. But you just figure whatever you're going to do as Ellie, you're going to go save Joel. And I think, again, I haven't played the game in a while, and I haven't gotten fully caught up on, like, rewatching the cinematics for the show. But I'm pretty sure there's a couple people you take out in the lodge. Like, before you find, and they're, like, before you find them, there are people that are guarding places. So, you know, you fight, you take a couple people out. And then you get to the door. And you're like, all right, cool, man. Like, I've already taken out some people. I'm going to take... And they cold cock you, take your gun away, pin you to the floor. And you're like, no. What? Excuse me? Like, I'm not. And like I said, I mean, Joel is your character in that first game. And then you watch what happens to him the same way Ellie does. You know, the camera angle is from the floor. And it is not... I mean, it's brutal. I don't know if it's quite that brutal where, like, you know, the broken piece and stabbing it in and being real close up. It's just like one final whack to his head. And then, like I said, I'm pretty sure they knock Ellie out or it goes black, right? So and then you just are, what are we going to do? You know, Ellie is in the, what are we going to do to go kill this person? We need to get revenge. That's what her goal is going to be. And then, mild spoiler, from that point forward, you were only playing as Ellie. We don't even see Abby for a long period of time. So it's, you know, what we're going to see coming up. You know, Dina says she knows all the pieces. Her and Dina are going to go travel to Seattle. And then you're going through Seattle trying to find these people. And naturally, things keep pushing it off. But you eventually get to a place where like halfway through the game, you get to a moment with Ellie, and then you flip to Abby, and you play her character through most of the second half of the game, until you get to the third act, where what has now been established, right? You have these two forces that are going to collide. You know, that stuff happens toward the end of the game. But it's one of these things, and I don't think this is a spoiler, because I think the way that they've built the first two episodes is already playing with these things. And it was, again, it's one of those where when I played the game and I got to the end of the game, I was like, before knowing there was going to be a TV show, I was like, I don't think you could accomplish what Neil Druckmann accomplishes from a storytelling perspective in any other medium but the video game. Because, like I said, when you play and inhabit these characters as a game player, you have a much deeper connection to them than anything you watch on television, because you are actually playing as them, right? And that just creates, at least for me, it's always created a much deeper rooted relationship between player and character than viewer and character for me. And like I said, you only know that Abby is looking for Joel, and then Abby kills Joel, and then you're playing as Ellie trying to find Abby. And the seething hate. I mean, you know, like Pedro was saying, like, you know, he's read things where he's thrown the script or the book, you know, across the room. And like when that moment happens and you don't have the opportunity to save Joel, I threw my controller. I was so mad. I don't think I went back to the game for at least a day or two. It was genuinely such an unbelievable reaction of anger. And then as you're playing, especially through Ellie, who is harboring all this hate, you are also harboring all this hate towards Abby's character. And you then, like I said, you are then forced to play as this character that you absolutely hate. You understand, like, sure, Joel has pissed people off, Joel has crossed people, Joel has killed people he wasn't supposed to kill. But, like, to get the level of brutality and just everything with no context, you have a seething hate for this character. And then you're forcing me to play as her. Again, I think that was another moment where I, like, threw my controller and, like, had to step away from the game for a couple days. And in playing that stretch of the game, that is where you learn Abby is a Firefly. Abby's father was the doctor that Joel killed. And now you start to understand where she's coming, and the game literally forces you to shift your perspective to Abby's. And as you start to understand that, while the anger and hate you've been feeling, I don't think completely diminishes, the perspective shift of understanding what's driving her makes you go, okay, there's a level of justification, right? Very much like Druckmann said, and Mazin said, like, there's a lot of similar characteristics between these two characters. You know, they are very forceful. They're both forces of nature. They both live everything 100%, you know, and there's nothing that's going to stop you from trying to do or get to the place that you're trying to go. And you understand that with Ellie, even when she's a little kid, and then obviously playing the next stretch of the game in part 2 where she's a little bit older. There's nothing that's going to stop her from doing what she's doing. And when you learn what you learn about Abby, you go, she's the same. You know, she wasn't going to let anything stop her from doing what she had to do. And your perspective starts to morph, which makes the third act very interesting to play. Because you have these two characters that you now fully understand both sides of the story. And they're now on a collision course for each other. And like I said, I don't think that's spoiling anything, because the way that they have set things up in these first 2 episodes, you already are understanding of Abby's perspective. Again, I think it's an interesting choice to go down things, or to go down this route, giving the audience that much. Because as a fan of the show, I'm sure there are people that probably lost their minds. They got very upset, and even though you understand where Abby's coming from, the hatred is gonna be up front. And like I said, I think having to wrestle with that in the game and then later finding out what Abby's motivations were allows you, I think, to understand her perspective. And it's really interesting as a video game player watching the show to already have that, right? Like, I already understood what her perspective was. I know why Abby is doing what Abby is doing. And I have come to a place where I don't feel that seething hatred anymore because I've experienced the full game and the way Druckmann handles everything, right down to that third act. It's perfect storytelling. So I think it's interesting that you do give people what her motivations are so early. I'll be fascinated to see how people who haven't played the game that are just watching the show feel about what happened and feel about what Ellie is going to be on a mission to do. Because you certainly feel slightly more conflicted as you get toward the back end of the game, starting to learn everything you learn about Abby. But where she's coming from, I mean, I have always been extremely open with you guys about, you know, my sister and what that did to me. And it's something that's hard because there's not, like, it's not like someone killed her and then you can be like, I gotta go get that person, right? Like, there's talking about eating disorders and the mental pieces, and there were so many other things at play. And yes, is that some of that rooted and connected to physical human beings that, you know, led my sister to go down the path she went? Absolutely. And I think if I ever saw said people, I don't know. But it's different, right? Because it's not a direct, like, this person killed this person. But if it was, like, just knowing how hard that is to digest and deal with and not have a place to send your anger, I think it's, for me, like, an easy spot where it's like, okay, flip it to a place where, like, if it was a person, there's nothing stopping me from going the route that Abby goes, you know? I wholeheartedly understand where she's coming from. And I wholeheartedly cannot blame her. You know, because of our perspective being attached to Joel and Ellie, you feel a way about that character. But like Mason said, she's not a villain. She's an anti-hero. If you had been attached to her character and her dad trying to find, you know, a cure for the infected, and some dude strolled in, I need to take her. All right, boom. And like she says, didn't even look at him when he did it. Just walked, did what he had to do, and moved about. And technically, like, I mean, like I said, he's technically armed. He had a scalpel, but, like, that's not going to be a threat to Joel. Joel could have punched him in the face, game over, and guy's not dead. But Joel's not in that place. He's in Terminator mode. So having lost somebody and not having a place to put my anger or direct it at somebody, if it was a person, yeah, I totally get where Abby's coming from, and I'm doing the same things. You know, it's just what it is. And now to flip that back to Ellie, right, it's the same thing. Now we've been living it on Ellie's perspective, and you see this. That's why in the game you were gung-ho to go get Abby. I think it's probably harder for the audience to have sympathy for Abby, even though they know what happened to her, and might be able to say, like, yeah, I can understand it, because they haven't had time to deal with that hatred. It's mixed in. So if you are in a video game player, I definitely want to know what you're feeling and how you're feeling, because some of the genius of the third act storytelling is you completely understand both of these characters and where they're coming from, and you can't fault either of them. And that creates, again, playing as Abby, as long as you end up having to play with her in part 2, puts you in a place where you're kind of conflicted about how the game might wrap up or where Druckmann's going to take it. And it is just overall genius storytelling. I mean, to be able to have someone garner the kind of hatred that you have toward that character, and then find a place where like you're like, I don't hate her as much as I did before because I understand her. It'll be interesting to see if how they've done it in the show creates any of that in a similar way for audience members. Are you going to be able to have any sympathy for Abby or empathy, because we understand where she comes from? I think depending on what they do storytelling wise, if we get to spend more time with Abby and we understand her as a non-revenge filled character and understand who she was prior, maybe audience members will get there. Like I said, I'm really fascinated to see with how they've set things up the first 2 episodes, how we play the rest of the story. That said, Kaitlyn Dever, good God almighty, she absolutely crushed it. And, you know, I know there are people out there that are like, she's not big enough. And, you know, there'll be people like me that's like, hey, I trust the people who are making this show. I trust the guy who made the video game to cast somebody that's going to inhabit what Abby is. I don't think you can say that Abby's size in the game is something that's throwawayable. How brolic she is and how strong she is certainly an element of that character. But when you're looking at things from the television perspective, just because you don't have massive muscles doesn't mean you're not strong. Doesn't mean you can't sit there and beat the living crap out of a dude, you know, punching over and over and over. Like there's, you know, it's not like she's hitting him where there's no those, you see his face, her punches are landing serious blows. And size-wise, her and Ellie will match up well, where anything you're doing from an action standpoint, you're going to buy. And Dever, I think, is probably a little bit bigger than Bella, maybe. I didn't see them next to each other. But, like, I'm sure that you can get to a place where, like, if they're fighting and it's tough for Bella, you know, I don't need Dever to be massive, but I need her to inhabit all of the things that drive Abby. And I said it in episode 1. You see it on her face at the beginning of the show. You see it on her face when they get to Jackson, or just outside Jackson. That hate is there, and that is the motivator. That is the push. And then to get to see as much as we get to see with her in this scenario, you know, she embodies, I think, Abby perfectly. Like, doesn't miss a beat. And the ruthlessness, the enjoyment, it's all there. And it's all there in the ways that it should be. You know, it's one of those things where you don't, like I said, you don't see that conversation immediately. I think it happens. I think we do eventually flash back to it, where you see, like, oh, that's the reveal that, like, her dad was the doctor, and this is why she was going after Joel. And then you're like, oh my goodness, say what? But getting to see her execute all that and have as much time with her speaking and setting everything up, it's very similar in the game, where, like, her brother, for sure, and the other people with her, outside of, like, 1 or 2 of them, they're kind of like, this is slightly going too far. Like, you are, like, I get you want to make him suffer, but, like, he didn't make your dad suffer. It was a one and done, you know? And to just see her inhabit and go to that space, and it's really the first time we are spending a significant portion of time with her, I just thought Dever captured it in a way where you understand she's relishing what she's doing, and that there is an enjoyment level to absolutely decimating Joel. And like I said, the way it's produced at the beginning of the game, you're not seeing a ton of it, but you're understanding of it. But you're also seeing the heartbreak, right? Like, with each punch, it's a mixture of, like, I've been waiting for this for so long. I mean, she's been looking for this man for 5 years. But there's also that pain of, like, I'm closing a chapter. You know, I'm closing a door. And one of the things that I think we know from personal experiences to movies, to TV, to books, revenge doesn't bring anybody back. And I think Dever, in the moment, really captures an element of, like, this is satisfying, but it's not going to fill that hole. And just how she captures that on her face was one of those where when she got cast, I didn't care that she wasn't Brolic or didn't look exactly like Abby, because she's so talented. And when you have that kind of talent level, it was the same way I felt with Bella, where it's like, if you're going to cast a kid actor to play this character, I don't care that she doesn't look anything like the character. I think she can embody what Ellie is. You saw that in Game of Thrones. Here's this kid telling these grown-ass old men, shut up. I have power. And I very much felt that when they cast Deaver. I was like, her talent level, she's going to be able to embody it. And I really think she embodies Abby so well in this episode. And her execution around a very difficult piece of storytelling was flawless. Speaking of Bella, God, she's so good. The way she comes in and the tears rolling and then crawling to Joel, like I said, I don't think you don't see her get that close to Joel. I have to go back and rewatch the cinematics, as I've said many times. Hopefully this week with less holidays we can get into that. But it's one of those, like, that whole bit, man, like, you're already gutted. And then to see Bella living that as Ellie and getting to a place where, like, she's just on top of Joel and like, they didn't give her a ton in this episode because of some of the pieces that they changed around, right? Like, Dina was supposed to be with her in the weed growing convenience store. They get stuck there. They have a little bit more relationshipy things. They're kind of fooling around a little bit, and then Jesse finds them, which is very funny in the episode. And another thing too, that, like, there's not much levity in this episode. Like, you get a little bit of it with Jesse and Ellie, but when Dina and Ellie in the game get ready to head out before they get to, like, what they're finding out what their patrol is going to be, Dina is playing, I can't remember if it's their cousin or a kid brother, but a bunch of the kids, and they're having a snowball fight. That would have been a fun thing to include, I think, in the episode, just to give a little bit of levity before literally you gut everybody. Like, to do what you do to the town on top of what happens to Joel. I could have used a little bit of that. But with the way that they shuffled some of the pieces around, you don't get to have a ton of time with Bella. And I think that makes sense in wanting to establish some of this stuff with Abby and her character. But then to get what you get in the moment, I mean, Bella absolutely just crushed that sequence, because it is the immediate heartbreak of knowing, like, this is a situation that I'm not going to be able to stop. Like her telling Joel to get up. I mean, it's identical to the game. Like, trying to get, and, like, then realizing, like, he is in a place where he is helpless. He can't do anything. He can't fight back. And the inevitable is coming. But I think you're also dealing with what, she talks to Jesse about at the beginning of the episode, which is like, me and Joel are fine. We've had our ups, we've had our downs, but we're always going to be us. So it's fine. I'm going to go on patrol with them. Y'all can stop talking about us. Like, it's fine. And I think seeing that piece of the story presented in that way, you kind of get the vibe that, like, if she goes out on patrol with Joel, they're going to hash things out. They're going to talk about things. And for the character, that's got to be in the back of your mind. If I had been on patrol with Joel, this wouldn't have happened. And I could have fixed, or started to fix, or at least talk through what's been going on and why our relationship isn't what it was previously. So now you're witnessing your father figure being brutalized, being killed. There's nothing you can do. And on top of it, you didn't get to fix. Like, the way you ended things with Joel is a really negative interaction, right? Like, you don't get to get a good thing mixed in there. And I think Bella encapsulates all of that in the moment. And then flip it to Pedro. I mean, so much comes from just a single look. And I think it's one of those things where you see him on the ground, he knows it's going to be over. He now knows that Ellie's going to see it. And he can't say anything. He's been beaten to a pulp where he's barely conscious. And just the look and the finger twitch, like leaning out toward her. You feel that this isn't your fault. I harbored nothing. Like, there's no anger at this point harboring toward you. Like he's looking at her in a way that's like, don't let this do what it will ultimately do to her on a mental stage. The things that she's going to deal with, the revenge that she's going to want. Like, Joel is looking at her in a way where she's never going to be able to understand it, but like all he can do is look and try to, make any kind of motion. And it's how good he is. That look in his eye is just telling you all the things that he wishes he could say, that he wishes he could have said, and like knowing that there was no part of him that didn't fully love her like a daughter. And to capture that with the prosthetics on and in that, like, it's the reason I was hoping that this would somehow elongate the beginning of the story to get this toward the end of the season, if not the end of the season. I'm a psycho, and I wanted the audience to have to sit with it until season 2, kind of the way that you sit with that level of hatred before finding out Abby's story in the video game. But I just wanted to get to spend more time with Joel and Ellie and Pedro because of how talented he is. And like I said, we saw when they did the trailer at the end of last week for like the overall season, we're gonna get some of the flashback things that are built into the game, and looks like we're just gonna present everything very similar in the storytelling way. So there will be more moments for Joel and Ellie on screen together. There will be more moments to get Joel. I think we'll probably feel Pedro throughout the course of the season in different ways. It's just like, oh, it's killer to lose him so early. And like Bella said, as soon as I was cast, I knew that Joel was going to die. And as soon as you start the show, you're like, I know what's going to happen to Joel, and you cast one of the best in the business. He's going to make people love this character so much that when he gets ripped away, it is going to be heartbreaking. And it is. So, yeah, I just continue to be in awe of what Craig Mazin and Neil Druckmann do with capturing this story so accurately, not being afraid to live in beats identically to the game. I think it's one of those where it's a different type of medium and a different way to tell the story with live action, real human characters. And again, the video game community compared to the people that watch HBO is much smaller. So you've never played the game, you've never experienced the story. I don't need an adaptation that represents the game but gives me new things. I just want the game brought to TV in the way that it should be brought to TV, so that everybody else, like my parents, get to experience the story. And that's the thing that I love when it comes to what Mazin and Druckmann have done. They don't shy away from that. They are not afraid to replicate things and hold true to the story so that people who didn't play the game get to experience it the same way. But I do think the ads or the tweaks or the little things, I mean, having, like Druckmann said in the game, as you play, you hear that the town has been attacked multiple times. So to visualize it, to give it to us, and mix that into what's going on with Joel and Abby in this episode, like, talk about just a marvelous piece of, like, big-time television. Like, that had vibes of things as big and epic as Thrones. Seeing all that horde just come for it, the way that they're evolving the infected, but again, staying true to things that come from the game. Like, it's that push and pull, that give and take, let's make sure we nail the things that need to be nailed. That scene with Ellie and Dina, last week, Jesse waking Ellie up, so pitch perfectly accurate, and gives you some of that lightheartedness that you kind of need prior to diving into all the darkness. to give us what happens to Joel spot on to what we're given in the game. Like, it means a lot as a video game player to see those things represented correctly, but, you know, tell the story the way you would on TV, that gives us a little bit more. They continue to be super impressive, and I think this episode is definitely a bar setter. You know what I mean? Like, it tells you everything you need to know about the two guys making the show. It tells you that where we're going, they're not gonna stray, and they're gonna get things right, and it's gonna be tough. It's one of the things with The Last of Us is it's a dark world, and things get super dark when you do what you do to someone like Joel. So again, a little upset that it happened in episode 2, but that represents the game very, very well. It happened so early, and having to deal with that happening so early before you even get to have, you know, like, you figure, okay, like, you tell me before I play the game, all right, they're gonna kill Joel. You figure you're gonna get to play with Joel for a whole bunch, and you don't. And I just think the execution from the creative side, from the set design and the makeup and wardrobe and visual effects to the performances, like, everything here is perfect. And I can't wait to see what we get with Bella the rest of this ride. I tend to believe that we're not going to get a ton of Abby through the course of the season, because they really do seem to be sticking to the video game storyline, and the stretch coming up is mostly Ellie driven. So I'll be interested to see where they take it and where they decide to cut it off to set up. I mean, it very well could. You could take it up to, like, the end of the bit of Ellie's storytelling, and then the next season could pick up with what's been going on with Abby. Either way, I am here for this ride. And I love the fact that, like, you could do it in a way that was so well done, it still guts people who knew what was coming. It's tough up. And things are just gonna keep getting tough. Also, I didn't talk, like I said, the Jackson stuff I thought was great. Diego Luna crushing it as Tommy, and he'll obviously be a key element to the storytelling and to things that go on with Ellie, to kind of fill that void left by Joel. But, like, watching him kind of run the town, get them through that horde attack, stave off that bloater, and then be in a spot where you're like, shit, I'm out of luck. And then that luck comes in. I just thought he nailed all that stuff really, really well. Everything that they involved with Jackson and having a horde attack, I just thought was cool. The coming out of the snow, that was just wild. So, like, just visually was like, I didn't know we could be more terrified. So yeah, everything in episode 2 was doing it for the old Seaman. The question is, what about you? My video game players first. Were you, like me, hoping that we weren't going to get to this early in the season? We were going to find a way to extend it a little bit. Being that we didn't get to extend it, what did you think of the execution? What point in the episode did you really start getting worried that this episode was going to be the one to deal with it? I think as soon as the storm elements started coming up, that was when I was like, shit, we're doing this now. So what did you think of the execution? What did you think of Pedro and Bella? Most importantly, what did you think about Abby? You know, the video game community certainly is the community that would have issues with Deaver getting cast, and we've seen that online. So whether you felt that way or not, now getting to see a real decent chunk of her on screen, do you think she's inhabiting the Abby character? Should they have gotten her into the gym more? Is that something you can look past? Is it something where the performance and what Deaver is doing is really all you need? How do you feel about that stuff? And then for my non-video gamers, where are you at? Where are you at? How do you feel? What did this episode do to you emotionally? And is it one of these things where understanding what Abby's motivations are, does that lessen the blow at all? Are you able to understand where she's coming from? Or are you so in it right now that you really can only ride with Ellie and you see Abby as a villain, not an anti-hero? And to my gamers, do you think that they should have kept that stuff to later in the season? would that have been more impactful to the audience? And same to you guys at home that haven't played the game. If they would have withheld that her dad was the doctor, or what her motivations were, do you think having that revealed later on could make you understand Abby? What'd you guys think of the horde attack? Gamers and non-gamers alike. That was new stuff for us, so was that cool to see brought about? How did you think it played with the tension and the drama of everything else that was going on in the episode? And how did you just think of the episode's overall execution? Anything you got, good, bad, indifferent, on The Last of Us, Season 2, Episode 2, Through the Valley. Put it down below in the comments section. Look forward to talking to you down there. As always, if you enjoyed this video, please give me a thumbs up. And if you're new, you want to come hang out with the C-Man anytime. We're talking movies, TV, trailer reactions. You want to be here for my week-by-week coverage of The Last of Us. You just dig the vibe. You want to show a little love and support. Come join C-Maniac Nation. It's super easy. Jump over there. Hit that subscribe button. Hit that little bell if you want those alerts. And until next time for the C-Man Cinema. Sit down. I've been the C-Man. I'm signing off. Peace!
C-Maniac Nation, you look nervous. Is it the scars? Would you like to know where I got them? No? Well, then maybe you'd like to see another video with the C-Man. How about up here or over here? And if you really dig the C-Man, well, then show him a little love right over there.